we're going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive.
I don't think anybody in my circle understands it.
Yeah, we here, y'all.
Hey,
Got the whole crew with me.
what's up?
Hello.
What up? What up? What up? Is it 2 o'clock in Texas?
It's 2 o'clock in Texas.
It is.
Hey man, we like to give y'all a few minutes. Make sure people show up. You know.
Mm-hmm. Get in here. Get in here.
Yeah. So today we're gonna have some fun with y'all, man. We're gonna interact. We're probably gonna bring some people on if y'all are interested to come on and chat with us. We're about to launch our JR72. Okay, so it's the next installment in our challenge series, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. It starts tomorrow, so we wanted to get in here, shake things up a little bit, because we know how y'all are. If you miss out, you miss the announcements. You know, soon Monday, here come Monday rolling around. Everybody's trying to get in the challenge now, so we're trying our best to shake it up. Make sure y'all know. So for all of y'all who are watching, make sure to share this live stream. Just take a second, thumbs up the live stream, and go throw it on your social media so other people can join and learn about what we're about to be doing this month. It's a big month for AHA. We got the JR72 challenge, which is about to start tomorrow, Sunday, August 6th. And then we've got the retreat. We got the wellness retreat coming August 20th. So we got a lot of stuff going on this month. We about to kick it off. Cowboy had Chris in the building. You already know this about to be fire. Okay. We're going to be taking questions too, so you guys can go ahead and throw your questions in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead. I know some of the coaches were still getting some things set up because we got a little show for y'all today, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab this question because we got it right before the actual live stream started. So I want to go ahead and knock this out. Can you talk about the benefits of eating just fruit and vegetables raw? Do you have anybody doing strictly raw fruits and vegetables or just fruit? I'm almost certain that we've all done raw fruit and vegetables. I'm almost certain Steven is currently doing raw fruit and vegetables. Steve, I think Steve did the longest. I don't know Jasmine, I'm not sure, but Steve, I think Steve did 90 days or something like that.
Woo!
Like, got me beat.
I don't know about 90. I don't know about
It was
90
like
days.
60. It was like 60 days.
I mean, that's more. You said 90. That's 3 months. No, I did. It was about 60 days after my juice fast. So I did a really long-term juice fast, and then I was raw for about 2 months strictly.
Well, I was counting the juice fast. That don't count.
Oh, if you want to count the juice fast, it's more than 90.
Yeah, doesn't it count?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, the question didn't say juice, but I mean, it is technically
It's
raw.
It is.
So yeah, but we have people in the AHA group that are doing fruits only. I posted about one of them on my Instagram. I shared one of his testimonials. When I shared it, he was at about day 65, and he was down about 70 pounds.
Wow.
Right. So
right on target.
Right. It's huge. And this was fruit. Right. So your fruits, doing fruit by itself is going, depending on what you're looking for or what the goal is, will determine if you want to go fruit only or just raw. If you have weight that you want to lose, fruit only is going to be the better option. But they're both great options. As far as like the benefits, one of the biggest benefits that you'll hear about a raw diet is cooking it is said that cooking can strip minerals from the actual food. Just like you heat anything and you remove things from it. So eating it in its most natural state is going to give you the largest benefit. One of the things that you can also do if you're not ready to commit to eating a raw diet, because please, it's not as simple as it sounds. Eating fully raw, it's not that simple, and there's a lot of factors that play into it. So one of the biggest factors is, can you digest raw foods? And a lot of people struggle with digesting raw foods without getting bloated. So this is one of the reasons why the AR-72 is important, so that you can learn juice fasting and you can help clean out that gut. But eating things raw, the biggest benefit is you're going to get all of the vitamins and minerals and the nutrition content of that fruit or that vegetable. If you're not 100% ready to go raw, you can start steaming your vegetables. So that's kind of a step down from raw, is doing steamed vegetables, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to raw fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got, the hydration. So me personally, y'all know I love talking about hydration. I think I think it's probably the single most important thing you can do for your health. You start hydrating well and the body starts fixing stuff. So that's a huge component of it. Obviously you digest, Stephen talked about, people having issues with digestion, but once you're maybe you won't have issues with it. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what you're eating. You got to pay attention to your body. Once your digestion is going well, it is the easiest stuff to digest. It is, just eating fruits and vegetables. We did a barbecue last night and we did smoked vegetables, and it just comes out. It comes out so easy. And I know it's like TMI to talk about bowel movements, but we all be having issues with bowel movements, right? So we got to talk about it. Imagine being able to get up in the morning, first thing in the morning, and you're having a smooth elimination. You know what I mean? And not only do you have a smooth elimination, it's you're not straining, and you're eliminating completely. That's what eating raw will do for you. Amongst other things. So we could talk the entire show about the benefits of eating raw. It's one of the best dietary strategies on the market right now. And I think my longest raw stint was, I believe, 14 days I did, or 20.
I think it was probably like 21-ish, because I know we had a goal of like 30 days. I think we did about 20.
Oh, okay, yeah.
21.
So anybody else want to touch on that?
I've done 21 days raw, and I just like to think as like raw foods like alive food. So they bring more life to you, not take it away, how when we think about foods. So just people can understand that easily. Like when they think about, say, like Thanksgiving, when you like eat foods, for the longest time I would think like, okay, part of Thanksgiving is eating all these foods. And then we all take a nap, then you get up and watch the football game. And it's like, well, you don't have to really take a nap, but it's your body forcing you to go to sleep to digest all this food. So after you eat, you should feel more energized, not less energized. And I realized even more the power of like raw living foods when I was just eating straight raw. It's just like, I just feel like I had all the energy in the world, because they are like literally like high vibrational food. So they just like give you more life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's interesting that you said that, because we're talking about raw, but sometimes transitioning straight into raw is, depending on your goals and depending on where you are on your journey, it's not easy to just go from what I'm eating now straight to raw. So there are some steps that you can take in between, and just making some changes like cutting out meat and doing things like that. So last night I had friends and family come over. AHA coaches that are here in the area were here, and we grilled and everything. And I sent a message out to my friends and people that came. And one of the girls that came said she appreciated the invite, and her husband said he felt so much lighter the next day or today from eating the food that we provided. And that's just literally one day of a shift in eating different because because everybody doesn't eat like we eat. And looking at the spread, they were like, it was so colorful, and it was, it was still, it was good food, but they're like, I've never had much less going, just eating in general, but going to a barbecue and there's no meat. But he just noticed the difference just in eating the foods that we had. And there were some raw dishes that were there, and some that were cooked, but just that transition between going from what you eat regularly to raw, there's still a beautiful journey in that as well. And then when you get to raw, you'll start seeing even more benefits. So that lightness, being able to flush and go regularly, it's a beautiful process.
Yeah. Will we get some information on, let's see. Will we get some information on the type of raw foods to tackle certain issues? And man, I'm a keep it 100%. Like most plants help with most issues. There's obviously some plants where you could highlight for certain specific issues. We understand that. But I mean, in my research, especially when you're looking at herbs and stuff like that, like, for example, you take a dandelion and it's like the benefits of a dandelion and what diseases you could use it for are just so numerous, right? It's got the things people like to talk about it for, maybe like heart issues and heart conditions and things of that nature. But it's like it works for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really about I think the quality of the herbs and the food is probably the major component, like the higher quality food you're getting, because plants are alchemists. Plants are literally alchemists. They can transmute, they can change, they can add minerals. And so, if you have a wildcrafted plant, something that's growing in nature the way it's supposed to be, it's packed with so much stuff. I was just talking about this last night. I think, that saying, the apple a day keeps the doctor away, or is it the dentist?
Doctor.
Yeah. So like that saying, we just say it. We've always said it. We don't know what it means. We don't know where it came from. But as I research history, I learned that all of these sayings have origins. It wasn't just stuff. For example, he didn't have a pot to piss in. That's a real thing. Because back in the day, you could literally pee in a pot and sell your urine because they were extracting chemicals and material from your urine, and you could make money that way. So when they were saying you were so broke you didn't have a pot to piss in, you broke. But I say that to say that the mineral content and the nutrients we used to be able to get from our apples would basically keep you healthy. It was that simple. An apple a day, and that'll keep you base. So Steve could probably give you a more specific answer. I know he's got different juices and things. This is a juice challenge that we're doing for the JR72. So that's going to be our primary focus with juice. But I mean, it's really about the quality of food, in my opinion.
That's right.
I would second that. It's really just about, like, when you're eating raw, you're going to eat a variety of foods. You're going to. There's really no option. Otherwise, most people think raw and they just think, oh, it's salad. Like, so if you're actually going to eat raw foods, then you're going to start having to put together a variety of foods to get the flavor, right? Because you're not going to have all these other options. So naturally, eating raw meals is naturally going to incorporate a variety of different foods, which you have. For example, you have amino acids and you have what's called an amino acid pool. So this is why when you're eating raw, you don't need protein, or when you're eating your fruits and vegetables, you don't need protein, because and one of the myths is that, oh, well, you don't have this. A lot of fruits and vegetables aren't complete proteins. Well, the body is very intelligent. Okay. So what it does is it holds amino acids in what's called the amino acid pool. It holds it for about 48 hours. And then all the amino acids pool into this certain space. And then as it completes those chains, then the body uses those as complete amino acids or amino acid chains. So This is just simply why you would just eat a variety. When it comes to raw food, the focus is not really on using a specific food to heal a certain ailment. Typically with raw foods, you can do that, right? But if I say, yeah, you want to eat beets because you have low iron or you're anemic, most people aren't going to sit there and just eat beets, right? But if you have a juice, people will make a beet juice and throw, I don't know, pineapple in it or something else like cucumber to help, spring it up. So usually juices is what we do for specific ailments. But at the end of the day, like Chris, but once again, I echo Chris's sentiment that it's really, really, as soon as you start eating a certain way, everything then begins to work and your body then starts to healing everything. So I would not focus on that. And that's really not what this challenge is about.
Yeah.
Okay, Donna. Donna has been in the chat. First, she said that I never say what the JR72 is, which, Donna, that's not true. And I got it on. I got it on film. It is the juice rolling 72-hour fast. So that's what the J and the R, juice rolling 72-hour fast. It is the kid brother to the R72, which is our rolling 72-hour fast. So we're going to be doing juice for 3 days. Well, first we're going to do a prep. Okay, so we've got a week prep. Then we do juice for 3 days, and then we eat for 1 day, and then we do juice for 3 days, and then we eat, and it goes on like that. And we have a refeed guide, and we've got food guides, and we've got some food videos. We've got some tips for shopping. You get a full PDF guide when you join the challenge. You get a material guide. And also, one of the new things that we're doing for this challenge is we're adding the AHA Detox Herb Bundle. Okay, so this is a huge, huge addition. So now you'll have access to a full detox tea kit. You've got the full body detox. You've got the parasite blend, right, which help you eliminate any unwanted pests. And then you've got an appetite suppressant in there as well. And the thing that sets our bundle, because there's a lot of detox bundles out there, and I wanted to do a couple things, just make things special and unique for our community, because we teach fasting. So I wanted to add the appetite suppressant because a lot of people quit their fasting because they get hungry, right? So the appetite suppressant is designed to nourish the cells, giving it some of the basic things it needs for nourishment, so that you don't feel hungry. But also, it blocks it. If you deal with like sugar cravings and stuff like that, it blocks those sugar cravings. It's just that tea is just a great tea to use on a regular basis, especially when you're looking to transition your diet. But what really, really sets our bundle apart from everybody else's is the teas are what I call sippable. They're sippable teas, which means y'all know what it is. They got them bitters, they got all them teas out there, and they taste like sewage water. And you're like, well, I gotta get it down because this is gonna be good for me and I need it. And I always wondered, why don't they flavor these teas different? Like, why do they make the teas so nasty? And the only thing I could come up with is that it's extra ingredients and they trying to save money. So I was like, yo, I'm not doing that. So the bundle is there's 3 teas and they're sippable. You can sit back, relax, enjoy them, but don't get it twisted. They're potent, so be careful, because we talking about bowel movements earlier. Yeah, be careful, because they work, but they're nice, they're enjoyable. So hopefully that clears everything up for you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good.
This man came to the door. These teas are going to be a game changer for the process. And I think one of our primary focuses for the JR72 is, I mean, it's in the title, the JR72 Detox Challenge. So cleansing the body, getting rid of all of this backed up gunk and things that are just in the bowels, and the herbs are going to play a major role. The juice does its job, but those herbs give an added, um, it's just one more step to help cleanse and flush out the system. Because when we think about overall health and wellness, and we think about balance, we have to focus on really like cleaning out our systems. It's our digestive system, our lymphatic system, cleaning up the blood, and all three of those herbs that we have that are available, they focus in those areas and they work well together. So having those herbs on hand and being able to use them, and of course we'll go into detail on how to use them. We have video, and we have information in the guides that are going to give you more insight on what's in the herbs, how they work, and how they can go hand in hand with this challenge in general. If you are at a point where you're really ready to clean up some things, you're tired of feeling sluggish, or have that stubborn weight that you just can't seem to release, even if you have been doing some fasting, juicing and using these herbs are going to be a major game changer. I'm excited to see the results from everybody else, because I know we've gotten some feedback on some testers that have used the herbs, and
Yeah.
it's been good. And we'll have some good tips for that cleansing process too, because it's some things you just don't even think about as you are cleaning the body out. We'll have some tips for you along the way inside the private group in the community. You can ask as many questions. No such thing as TMI, any of that. I promise. We've seen it, we've heard it all. That's the beauty of our challenges. I think that's one of my favorite parts of being able to feel so close to so many people. And I forget sometimes that we reach thousands of people, but being in these groups, in this community, and people sharing and talking, and asking questions and bouncing just different things back and forth, being able to share it, that's part of the success, I think, of folks that are in the challenges as well. It's not just the information and the steps and guide, but it's the camaraderie, it's the family, it's the community. And it's that one mindset, like wanting to be good or better versions of ourselves, and then having that support. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Reiterate. Jasmine, do you want to talk a little bit about your experience? I think you had mentioned, with I'm gonna let you talk about the mystical, what do they call it? The mystical Sun Flea?
The Sun Flea. Sure. Yeah. So before we went live, I was just telling Chris, he was telling me how hot it was in upstate Florida and Texas, and I live in Atlanta, and it's like super hot here. And back in the day, I really was not able to be out in the sun at all, much less for like long periods of time, because like I would break out, I would itch, I would get like welts all over my body. It was just like really bad. So when I was like 15 or 16, like I finally went to the dermatologist, and I was like, hey, like this is what happens every time I'm in the sun. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you got bitten by the Sun Flea. So I was like, oh, okay, the Sun Flea. I mean, this is, man in a white coat, at the time, I just kind of believed what he said. So, I didn't go to like, the research journals to look up the Sun Flea, but he was like, yep, just stay out the sun for, X amount of years and it'll eventually clear up. So I mean, that's what I did, which wasn't great at all. But, sometimes like in the summer, I mean, I live in Atlanta, like at some point I'm going to have to be out in the sun. So I was, but again, like I would break out whether I'm in a pool or out the pool, and it was just horrible. So anyways, long story long, fast forward to like my 5 months of intense fasting and hydrating myself with juices and raw fruits and vegetables, and really being able to experience like just all this hydration in my body, I came to realize that I in fact was not bitten by a sun flea. had actually been dehydrated for a super long time. And now I can go out and be in the sun, whether it's Atlanta sun, a sun on an island, all the time, nor do I wear, which that's a whole nother conversation, of any kind, because the interaction of the chemicals in that and the sun help support messing me up as well. So yeah, hydration is just so key. So I do hear a lot of people say they can't be out in the sun for long, but like we need the sun. I mean, for so many things. So one of the reasons could be that you are chronically dehydrated, like I was. So this challenge would be great. So yeah, that's my little Sun Flea story.
I'm gonna add a small tidbit because, like, you know, it's sunny in Texas, so a lot of people have been talking about sunscreen. Couple things. Number one, bro, like, look at the ingredients on your sunscreen. I guarantee you, within just a brief look, you'll be able to find a toxic ingredient. That's number one. Number two, you have to think about what the sun does. So you put a toxic ingredient on your skin, and then what does the sun do? It starts to deteriorate that ingredient. So now it leaches into your skin very easily because the sun's breaking it down. Also, yeah, so Jasmine mentioned the benefit of the sun, right? We are supposed to get sun. Y'all know, like, the body produces a tremendous amount of quote unquote vitamin D when you go out in the sun, but it sits on your skin for like 2 hours. So one tip, you know, if you are out in the sun, for the purposes of just, you know, generating vitamin D and things of that nature, make sure that you give your body enough time to actually absorb that vitamin D from the skin and let it to kind of, you know, get into your body. Don't wash it off. Obviously, you know, sunscreen is gonna hinder that process. So I just wanted to get that little extra tidbit.
Just when you think about the sun and plants and how close we are, like how our system function very similarly to plants, and plants need it and thrive off of it, but we're kind of disconnected on how we do too, and how it benefits us on a cellular level. I just enjoy just standing out and just letting the sun hit my face. I talked about it in our on our previous call for those that are in our premium accountability membership group, how I just like to enjoy just standing out and letting it just hit my face for a while. It's just a beautiful experience, but just watching nature and how nature interacts with the sun, light, we do the same, but because there's so much information out there, we feel like we need to shelter ourselves from the very thing that helps to make life better. But it's just a matter of learning and unlearning. There's just so much information out there. You just don't know, or you think you know. Just don't listen to your inner version of yourself. See what makes sense.
Yo, did you have any pictures of the barbecue last night? I didn't take no.
No, I was moving around so much I didn't take one picture, and I'm not the best person with taking pictures anyway, because I'm the type of person, like, I live in the moment. So like this social media life of like, it's beneficial, it's good to take those pictures and capture the moments, but I literally just be flowing. So no, I should have my sister take some because she loves being on it, but I didn't take one picture, and the spread was beautiful. I'll do my best to write out what it was, but I have no pictures. I'll see if anybody else took some.
Yeah. Sorry. What do you guys use for deodorant? I don't use deodorant personally. And I don't smell. So I don't need deodorant anymore. Right. This goes back to one of the somebody asked the question earlier. What's the benefits of eating fruits and vegetables? Yeah, well, you don't need deodorant anymore. Now, obviously, you have to detox your body, right? So this is the point of this challenge. The point of this challenge is for us to take some actual focus and energy and detoxify the body. We want to get all of the sludge, all the synthetic material, all the crap and crud that we've been building up over the past 20, 40, 60 years. Get that stuff out. And then as you start to maintain your new lifestyle, your new dietary strategy, the reason we stink is because we're stinky on the inside.
Mhm.
right? When you're stinky on the inside, you sweat, it comes out through your pores. It's a detox, it's an elimination pathway. The body will use the sweat to eliminate. So when you're sweating and you smell all of that stuff, that's letting you know what's going on internally. So it's not just, it's not just a natural, oh, that's just how people smell. It's not. Think about babies, okay? If it was natural for people to just smell toxic and have body odor like that, then babies would need deodorant too. But children don't really start needing, depending on their dietary habits and things of that nature, they don't really need deodorant until later on. They could be 10, 13 before they really start needing deodorant. I didn't start using deodorant until I was probably a preteen, maybe later, to be honest. So, sorry, I didn't answer the question. I don't use deodorant. Does anybody use it?
I was about to say you did answer the question. You don't. It's interesting because in the wintertime, a lot of times I don't. I think it's more because I'm just conditioned to feel like I need something. But usually in the winter I don't because I'm not sweaty and I don't and nothing. But summertime, the way it is out here, I use deodorant. But I just found a natural brand. I don't know the exact brand but for someone that's looking, you can go like on Etsy or something like that where people make natural products with natural ingredients. Or there were a few brands that have the natural products that they use none of the aluminum and all of that stuff in there that you can find. But the one I get is from Sprout, and it seems to work well for me. But yeah, I definitely do use deodorant, just not the traditional kind that we used to use before. But yeah, either make your own, figure out a way to make your own, or use like an Etsy shop or something where they have very basic, clear, easy to read ingredients, or find like a whole food type place. But you just read your ingredients and make sure you're comfortable with what's in it.
So for me, I know that for
No, go ahead.
so I know for a lot of people, this is a big topic, and it's a question I get asked a lot because some people can put deodorant on in the morning, and then by 4 o'clock they need to reapply. Right? That just tells us the level of toxicity that's in our body. Just like Chris stated, we have it. There are signs and signals. Right? It's a symptom. Like the smell is a symptom of the body detoxing, right? So as far as you go through this process, right, you will find that you will need it less and less and less and less. And then you can get to a point where if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. So the only time that I use deodorant is typically in the summertime. And I have a deodorant, it's actually right here. And it's by doTERRA. And it is Douglas fir and Greek orange. It's right here, right? It's got all the stuff, right? Safe, non-toxic, baking soda free, aluminum free, paraben free, no artificial ingredients. So you can check it out, right? If it vibes with you, right? You can also, of course, do baking soda and lime. I mean, some people do that, right? It's completely up to you. It also depends on, of course, how active you are. Like if I just came back from the gym, right? Took a shower, boom. If you are very active, then you may at some point need it more, right? But even then, even in the summertime, I don't apply it daily. It's probably once every 3 days, right? And once again, also kind of what Shell said, it's kind of because I kind of get used to it, or if I go 2 days and I'm like, oh, I've been going to the gym, I'm smelling a little bit, whatever, right? Or I'm going through a detox, which also I'm detoxing right now because I'm going through a process. So even then, I still don't smell. It's sometimes more just of a habit, and it's literally just one swipe. It's like, is anything even there? It's almost to the point where I'm almost to the point where I don't use it even in the summer. But that's really the only time that I actually use it. But doTERRA is typically my go-to for that.
Okay. Um, Steve, I want to give you a chance to speak on. I think you had something you wanted to share with us.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
before I do that, yo, get them lights up, y'all. You already know we out here. We doing it, and also we're knocking out questions in the chat. So if y'all want to throw your questions in the chat, also prepare your mind, your body, your spirit. If you guys want to come live towards the second half of this live stream, we're gonna bring y'all on to just chat briefly, maybe share some of your experience with the different challenges we've had. Whatever. Maybe you just want to shout us out. I see y'all. So I threw the link to join the challenge in the comment section. You guys can go. You can go sign up. Donna already signed up. She hit me back in the chat. She said, "Chris, I'm already signed up." Oh, somebody else was asking, when do you get invited to the secret membership area? So the invitations went out this morning. So if you did not get your invitation, there could be two reasons for that. Either you entered your email incorrectly, the email went to spam, or it's in your inbox and you just missed it. Uh, and if it's not one of those two things, if you can't find it, if you can't figure it out, you can email us support@ahealthyalternative.org, and we'll make sure to get you in there. All right. So you guys, when you join today, if you guys haven't registered yet, you join today, you should instantly get an email to invite you to join. I mean, within a couple minutes. All right. Steve.
So I wanted to show you guys something, because a lot of times, like, people, when I talk about juice fasting and I talk about like the power of it, I also like to talk about, what it does for the gut specifically, right? And some people know this, some people don't, but we can hold, 15 to 20 plus pounds of poop in the digestive system, right? So in the large and small intestine, and that creates size, right? Not only does it, of course, put pressure on your internal organs, right? It also presses out the actual stomach, which makes your stomach look bigger than it even actually is, right? So juice fasting, of course, upon all of the other multitude of things it does, when it comes to actually the belly in particular, right? So I want your ears to perk up if you are someone who has a larger belly and you're like, Steven, I want to lose fat in my stomach, right? I want you to listen to this, right? So there's two things that, of course, that are more than two, but two things I want to talk about that are causing belly fat. Once again, number one, it is poop. It is going to be foods that are either slow digesting or foods that are not digesting, right? And over time, that poop starts to solidify on the colon walls, and things get stuck, right? Your colon is super long. It's extremely long, and it's windy, it's curled up, and there's a reason for that. We need that long intestinal tract so that way we can absorb the nutrition from those foods, right? You have water that goes into the colon, and then the body reabsorbs that water and is sucking up, of course, toxins, and it's also sucking up nutrition, okay? But if your bowels are moving slow, this process is going to move slow, and you're going to struggle, number one, digesting your food, and it's also going to make your belly bigger, okay? At the top of the belly, as well as the bottom, right? In that area where the fupa, y'all know what I'm talking about, that area down there. People, you go on Instagram and they're like, oh, do this exercise, do this exercise, do this. No. You have poop in there, right? So number one, you have the herbs that are going to assist with that. But also, number two, you have the juice that really does a good job of going in and scrubbing and cleaning, right, that stuck and poop. This is also one of the reasons why juice fasting is really good instead of other things like colonics or enemas, because colonics and enemas don't go into the small intestine. We think that it's just your small intestine goes almost all the way up to your chest, right? Ain't no colonic or no water getting through all that. Plus, you have systems in place to stop water and matter from moving there, right? So this is why we suggest the juices that we suggest. The green juice recipe that we suggest your melons for hydration, and your citrus, because they do a great job of detoxing those areas, and they can go in and help to scrub those walls. These will make the belly smaller, right? And that simply is just the visualization, right? The second part to this, right, or the second thing that I want to add is, of course, is visceral fat. So you have visceral fat, which is, of course, the fat that is located and surrounded around the organs. And this is all organs, not just the liver, but all organs. That's what visceral fat is, right? And visceral fat is the hard to reach fat. It is the fat that is very difficult to get to, but it's also the most dangerous fat, right? Because this is the fat that's going to smother the organs. It's going to stop them from being able to expand and contract, right? As you're detoxing or as you're trying to live, you have visceral fat that actually smothers them, and it makes it difficult for them to actually process and do their job. So fasting in general, whether it's water or juice, does an absolutely phenomenal job at removing visceral fat. Fasting, water fasting, juice fasting, it does a phenomenal job of removing visceral fat. Okay, but obviously, as someone asked earlier, right? What are when we're talking about raw foods? Are there foods that we can eat for certain issues? Well, yes, of course, right? But we specifically designed this challenge so that we are attacking certain issues that we know most people that are going to be in the challenge have, which is belly fat, visceral fat, right? So this is where your citrus juice also comes into play. They also do a great job of helping to detox, right? The melon juice is going to help you hydrate, which is essential for detoxification. Okay, so that's something to pay attention to. So if you're stage 2 with the herbs, then you need to ensure that you're hydrating, which means you got to make sure that you're drinking your juice. A lot of people fail with detox because they're not hydrated. In order for the body to actually purge these toxins, it needs hydration. And that does not mean water. It needs cellular hydration. It needs to be able to push fluid through the cell walls and remove them from the cell membrane so that way it can then send them to the colon, send them to the liver, send them to the kidneys, so then it can then flush them, right? But these things don't work if you are not hydrated. So this is why the herbs as well as the juice coming together is a super power formula. It is more powerful than if you just did them by themselves, because most people are already coming into this dehydrated. Does that make sense, right? So this is why the stage 2 is another stage. It's another level, right? If you don't have the herbs, you want to get the herbs, okay? Just being honest, right? So I want to show you guys a picture of a gentleman that I am in a group with, and he did a juice fast, right? And he's going to go longer than what he was at. He just wanted to show an update to everybody. And I just wanted to show you because it shows a great depiction of everything that I just talked about, right? And if you have an issue and you're like, I want to lose weight in my belly, I want to show you why you need to learn the power of juice fasting. So let me pull this up here. Oh, there we go. All right. So let me pull this up. Y'all are in a tunnel right now. All right. So here you go. Can you guys see that?
Wow. Yeah.
Right. So this was him. He did a 25-day juice fast, and he started at 260 pounds, and then he is still currently juice fasting. This is just an update, and he's now currently at 235. But I want you to pay attention to the belly. Right. I mean, it is. There's no more clear and obvious showing of this, right? Of how juice fasting works. Now, of course, we're teaching juice fasting in the sense of the JR72. So we are giving you the introduction to this, right? But of course, there are things that you can do, and you can learn how to do long-term juice fasting. But it's really good to, of course, get your feet wet and get started. But this is what juice fasting can do, right? And not only can it do this, it also does it. And then you also are losing, of course, weight in other places, right? You'll see in his arms, he's lost weight. You'll see in his calves, you can see it a little bit, he's lost weight, right? In his face, it's coming from everywhere. And as he continues, of course, he will continue to get smaller, right? But I just wanted to show you, I wanted to show you this power, that is available. And I'll stop this now, right? But I mean, was that powerful to y'all? Like, what? I mean, is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that. I mean, there's no. What else do you need to see?
That's what everybody wants right there.
Yeah, that was a great visual.
I mean, for real. Like, I mean, what else do you need to see if you are sitting here and you've spent this entire time listening to this call? I mean, what else? I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to convince you, but I'm trying to convince you to help yourself. Like, that's why I said in another live, if I would have restarted, I would have started with juice fasting. Not necessarily because it's better, but because of the results I wanted. It was going to get me there faster because you can maintain it longer, right? So a lot of times people struggle with water fasting because it is hard. It actually can be, for a lot of people, the hardest fast. Seriously, right? But juice fasting is the easiest fast to do. And you get great results. And you can do it, of course, short time, and then you can do it long term as well. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to really learn this process, to get knowledge of it, to get understanding, right? I'm going to be providing different juices that are great for different things. We'll talk about that more in the live tomorrow, but you're going to have an opportunity to, of course, obviously get more information from the coaches. And if you have never truly learned about juice fasting or really got into it or really understand the power of it, I mean, for real, for the price of it, for the challenge, it's literally a drop in the bucket. Like, I mean, seriously, it's Friday night, it's Saturday night. People are literally going to go out, and before they even go out tonight with their friends, they'll spend $100. You go get a shirt and a pair of pants and a bottle of wine, and you spent $100. So, I mean, there's really no reason not to, especially when we're talking about something that can literally, it will literally change the course of your entire existence from this day forward. You can literally say, I need to join this. If I don't have it right now, but I'll have it next week, go borrow it, right? Go do whatever you need to do. Right? Something that I like to teach my clients is I need to see a level of desperation. Desperation, because we usually hear desperation and we like, oh, don't be desperate. No, I need you to be desperate to get healthy. I need you to say, I'm willing to do whatever it is going to take in order for me to change my life and to get to a place where I can be mentally healthy, I can be emotionally healthy, I can be physically healthy, I can feel good in my own body. And you're not going to do that doing the same things you've been doing. So if that means you need to then go out of your way and get uncomfortable, if you need to put a juicer on your credit card, if you need to borrow $100 to get into the challenge, you're still going to save money. Juicing is, people like, oh, juicing is expensive. No, it's not. It's expensive if you want to be an alchemist and you want to, I got to mix all this. We don't need to do all that. We get you some watermelon. Watermelon is $10 a watermelon. You get you a big watermelon, that's 2 gallons. 2 gallons. You're telling me you're not going to spend more than, that's $10 for 2 days. There's no way anyone as a normal adult is spending less than $10 in 2 days for food. It's not possible. I mean, sure, if you just want to eat rice and ramen, sure. But we're not trying to do that. We're talking about regular humans, people that are, you know what I mean? Like, there is no reason not to. And even if you are in a position where you're like, well, I have things going on, I don't know if I'm going to be able to commit to it, you can still learn the process. If you learn the process and you at least learn how to do it, you can then do it again on your own time when you have the ability to do it properly. But if you don't at least learn the process, right? You people say, oh, I can go to YouTube and figure it out. If you want to go to YouTube University and try to figure this out for people that aren't really there to serve you, then you can do that, right? Or you can, of course, join the challenge. You will have the entire coaching staff that are going to have lives. We already have created content specifically for juicing, and we will be there to hold your hand. Anybody that's ever been in the challenge before knows if you message me, you message one of the coaches, we are there for you. So not only do you, of course, get all of the information, you still have access to the coaches. And if you've never done any one-on-one coaching with us before, you have access as if you had one-on-one coaching. People reach out like Steve and I, can I get a consultation? No, don't get a consultation. Buy the challenge. It's the same price. My consultation is an hour. It's the same price as the challenge for 30 days. I just tell them go get the challenge. And then in the challenge, if you need a consultation, I have discounted coaching. So if you still need something, it'll be $20 or whatever, 25, 35, but it'll be cheaper. So, sorry, I got a little passionate right there because
hey, do what you do.
We play around with our health way too much, and we think and we sit and we're like, oh, I don't have $99, but you do. Because you think, oh, it's Saturday night, I got to go with my friends tonight, and that's my party money. Okay, but imagine this, and I'm going to let this go. But imagine you go out with your friends tonight, and you're having a great time, and you're drinking, and then because you ain't been hydrating, you haven't been doing anything, you're drinking, and of course, we all know that drinking dehydrates you. Let's say that you pass out in the club, dehydration, and then now you end up in the hospital, right? The ambulance comes and picks you up. Right? It's embarrassing. There's shame. All your friends saw you go out on a stretcher. And then now you get a hospital bill of $5,000 with an ambulance ride of $3,000. Right now, that's $8,000. So you didn't have $100 to pay for the challenge, but now you got an $8,000 hospital bill because you decided, well, I did hear it, and I think it was for me, but I still want to go out with my friends. I'll catch them on the next one. Right? And we think that this won't happen to us. But I guarantee you ask anybody that's ever been in an emergency type situation, everyone that's been to the hospital, they thought this would never happen to me. Yeah. So you can decide that if you're going to be someone where something happens to and it doesn't happen, and maybe it doesn't happen tonight. Maybe it doesn't happen in 5 years. Maybe it doesn't hit you for the next 10 to 15 years. But if you at least invest $100 or $198, whatever, with the herb, right? You make that investment into the actual challenge itself and you learn the process. You then will never have to be in that situation because you will understand hydration and how it truly works. And you will have the tools to detox properly anytime you feel you need to. Not only during challenges, right? But also detoxing after trips, detoxing after international travel, detoxing after having a bad weekend and you binge all weekend. These things are going to happen. Having these tools to understand and be able to put them into practice when you need them is priceless. So I hope that touched whoever it was supposed to touch, because I went way off of what I was going to, but somebody needed that. And I hope that it hit. So
yeah. That was definitely some good insight. Somebody said, why you yelling? That's passion.
Right.
But the beautiful thing about the coaches, about AHA, what we've been able to do with these challenges, and this is why we definitely encourage you to join, is because we've been able to collect data. We've been able to learn and analyze our AHA family, and quite a few things. It's very common things that come up. The way that challenges came about is because we heard you asked, and we created. And this is just another one that has been asked for and we created it. But the beauty about being in the challenges and about being in the community is learning what it is that you all are asking for, the challenges or difficulties that you all are having, and being able to create a process and a system around those needs for you all and presenting it in a way where it is easy to receive. And that's why we've gotten so many amazing results from the challenges, because people are saying, I've tried to do this water fast or this juice fast or whatever on my own, and I'm always falling or failing. Okay, so Chris came up or created the 7-day prep guide, and this is something that we teach inside the challenges, but it's out there and available for you for free as well. But it's something different about being in a community and having structure and having tools and it being dripped to you. So this challenge is not just about getting some juice, drinking it for 3 days, eating a certain way for within a set period of time on your day, and then going back into it. It's not just about the act of the fasting. It's about the community. It's about the information. We have a whole nother area where we have put in time and work in creating trainings and material, things, tools that you can actively use in the moment to be able to be successful and to sustain. So sometimes people wonder, like, why should I join a challenge when I can do this by myself? Because based on our data, based on our analysis, that's part of the difficulty. Doing it by yourself, being consistent, and understanding what's happening with the body and making a choice to end it because you think something is going wrong or you don't understand what's happening. We've done the work. We've been able to help folks come together, and we invite you all here to do it with us as well. And we put it in a way where people can be successful. We have so many different reviews and feedback. And if you get into our AHA communities, I pose questions all the time because I'm genuinely curious to know if people are really reflecting on the benefits that they've been able to get from joining our challenges and being a part of our groups, because sometimes we don't even realize all the changes that are happening, not only with our weight, but with our mindset and our spiritual connections and our ability to transform who we are. So when we create these challenges and we put it together, we put a lot of time and effort, but it's genuinely because it's the things that you all have said that you need and the struggle and the pain points that you have. So we come together and we figure out how to put a system together to make sure that we can give it to you where you can get it and maintain it and go back to it if you need to. So that's the beauty of joining challenges with AHA. We're going to educate, we're going to support, we're going to give you the data, the things that have worked, and you can look at the coaches and you can see that these things are working for us, and we have it out here for you. And we're very hands-on, and we're available. Like Stephen said, if you ask a question, especially if you're in a challenge, you're going to get an answer. Somebody's always online and available. And sometimes it's not about the fasting itself. It's about the assistance. It's about being able to have conversations with people that are right here with you and they understand what you're doing. And that can be the difference between you ending a fast and taking a moment and keep going. So there's so much that's connected with our challenges. It's not just the act of fasting itself. It's about the tools that come along with it. It's about the community, and it's about the systems that we have put in place to help sustain and make it consistent and make it a lifestyle.
There it is. Yeah, it's a lot of people think that, oh, I'll be here back in the day. Oh, I can fast by myself. Can you? Like, I don't even fast by myself. When I very first started fasting, I fasted with John. Me and my brother John, we fasted together. It is so much easier to fast with someone else, and we are humans are like creatures that do well in groups. That's the nature of most human beings. And the process of getting healthy and transitioning your diet and this wellness journey, it's already difficult because there's so many elements in our world that are designed to detract us from doing the right thing. Why not give yourself an extra little boost? And so, yeah, I think that the community is one of the greatest benefits of being a part of this challenge. So join the community. We've got the herbs. We still have herbs left, y'all. There's only a couple herbs, we only have a few orders left. The herbs are running very, very low. So if you decide to join, grab the herbs when you join, because number one, it'll cost less, and number two, it'll ensure that you get them, because we only did a small batch of herbs for this challenge. So keep that in mind. I want to I'll give people an opportunity to hop on real quick and speak. If you guys want to come and just interact for a little bit. So we're going to throw this link in the chat, and we're going to start bringing y'all in. And in the meantime, we're going to knock out some more questions.
Yeah, question.
Here's one real quick. Can we join late, or do we have to be in by day one? You can register and start on Monday if you want to, but you can't. You're not going to be able to join. You're not going to be able to register after tomorrow. So you need to register, and then you do what you got to do. I don't know what that is. Whatever you got to do.
Register right meow.
Make sure. I know some people are saying that they didn't get their invitation to the secret group. Make sure that you guys check your spam first, because they often do go to spam. Check that spam. Make sure to double check your email. Make sure that you gave us the correct email, and then if those two things are correct, then we'll email us, support@ahealthyalternative.org. All right. Okay, so we already answered this one, but how often are we going to go live in the challenge? You're going to get at least 4 lives. You probably going to get about 5 or 6, but we guarantee at least 4 lives. But we're just led by our ancestors, as Shell might say. we allow the ancestors to lead us. So if we know, if the vibe from the group, if we're sensing, okay, we need to do a live, we'll do an extra live. You know what I mean? So you guys get to interact, and also you guys do get core content. You get a curriculum. So when you join, you're going to get access to our academy, and the academy is going to have like the core curriculum around the challenge, and then the lives are in addition to that. Plus you have the live chat. Plus you have the feed that you can post. You get plenty of interaction. I'll tell you that.
Plenty. And you also, for the people that are in our premium accountability membership, you're gonna get. We already meet 3 times a week anyway. You'll get those, and you'll get the lives that we have with the challenge, and then any impromptu lives. So that's because you're premium.
Premium. Can I use my sauna bag while doing this challenge? Does anybody have an opinion on a sauna bag? I've been done.
I do.
Go ahead.
I would say no. And here's the reason. The purpose of us doing this process is to hydrate, so that way the body can use that hydration to detox. In general, I don't have an issue with saunas or a sauna like suit or anything of that nature. But during this time, the goal is to hydrate. And a lot of times those sauna suits and stuff literally just dehydrate you. Now they're taking toxins and stuff with them, but if most people are coming from a state of dehydration already. So I would not suggest it during this time. It's counterproductive, and I would suggest just to use them at a later date. If you want to if you want to sweat, it's summer. Go outside, right? I mean, but leave the sauna suits for later, because the weight that you're losing is not particularly fat. This is why a lot of them stop working, just like the gym and all these other things. They stop working. You plateau, not because they just stopped working. It's because they were never doing what you thought they were doing in the first place. They're just leaching hydration. So it works. You're going to work against yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's perfect. I didn't know if the sauna suits were a little bit different, but that's basically what I would say as far as like saunas and stuff too. Okay.
Another thing I'll add while you're looking for questions or if we're waiting on folks is I'm during any challenge or in general, I challenge people to follow the process. A lot of times we hear the word trust the process, but there have been people. I'm an analyst. My old job, I did a lot of analyzing, so I like to look at data and behaviors and stuff. So one thing that I noticed is people that join like our very first challenge and maybe even the second one, by the time they joined the third one, they got the best results because they made a conscious decision to follow the process. Instead of wanting to add this or add that and do this and do that. Now, the reality is there's a lot of information out here. It's a lot of information to take in to make a decision. Or should I make this change? Should I do this? Should I do that? But I can guarantee you one thing. People get results when they join our challenge and they follow our system because it's a process that we have done over and over and over again. And sometimes it takes some unlearning to being open to unlearning or just learning something new. And we have those systems in place for a reason and we get those results. So a lot of times we get someone that'll say, well, this is my first or this is my third time joining and I finally followed the process and I lost the weight during the prep week and I lost this much weight during the actual challenge because they didn't want to add something or omit something or disregard something else. Obviously, you make your own choices and you do what leads you, but be conscious of what's leading you. Is it because you genuinely don't think it's good for you? Or is it because this is what I know I've heard? How's that been working out for you, to be quite honest? And just be open to making some changes so that you can see some changes. So when you join, just be open to actually following our process. Watch the material, join the lives, be a part of the full-on process because you're going to get results when you follow the process. We've been doing it long enough to see it, to hear it, to get the feedback and create the systems. I'm systems analytical. That's how my mind works as part of the what I bring to AHA. And the numbers just don't lie. The feedback is just as clear as that picture that Stephen put on the screen. He did his 25 days, or was it 25 days? His stomach looked one way. He followed his system, and it looks a different way. We have a system here laid out for you with the support. Follow the system, get the results.
All right. So, dumb question. Well, you know what they say. There's no dumb questions. That is not true. There are dumb questions. But this is not a dumb question. So we're not even going to let you play yourself. Dumb question. We can still drink water during the JR72. Yes, you can definitely drink water. Our goal is really to get you guys to drink a gallon of liquid. It's about building habits. We want to help you all detox, but also you keep in mind that because our goal is not just simply we got you for 30 days and we want you to get a specific result in the 30 days. We also want to encourage you all to create lifestyle change. Mm-hmm. That's like the undertone of the whole brand. That's why our wellness retreats are lifestyle wellness retreats. So by encouraging you all to just get more liquid in, when you finish with the challenge, you're going to be used to it. You're going to be used to it. It'll be easier for you to kind of keep doing that and not go back into those old habits of I know some people that drink, they sip on 1 16-ounce bottle of water every day and they don't even finish it. So
that used to be me. I would drink very, very little. And I had the result. The results were constipation.
Yeah. Me, I would carry around water with me. So I would, in my mind, think subconsciously like I'm drinking it because I would always have it with me. But was I really drinking it? No. So if that's the case with you, that's why sometimes setting timers and doing things to help you be more like actively aware of like, that's right, I have this liquid to drink. Let me space out my hours and make sure I'm getting it in. Can someone drop the link of the challenge? Someone is asking if it hasn't been dropped yet. I don't have it handy.
I can drop.
Join.
Hello, guys. I've been wondering, can you have broth with water fast? Will it slow down weight loss? Can you still lose weight doing this? Thank you. Yeah, you can have broth with your fast. We don't typically teach a lot of different things. We don't really teach a lot of different methods of like liquid fasting, which is where a lot of these other things come into play. Because when I was like 5, 6 years old, my favorite book was If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And what I learned from that book is that when you give a mouse a cookie, he's probably going to want some milk. Okay. Meaning when you give people an inch, they take a mile. So we don't teach adding a lot of extra different things to your fast because people don't stop there. It's like, well, if I can have broth, I can have a couple steamed vegetables in my broth too. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna be responsible, you're gonna make your broth homemade. Okay, don't go to the store and buy it. Do not buy it from the store. So if you're talking about store-bought broth, it's a no. Yeah, you could do a little broth, and it's going to have a minimal effect on your fast. But it's better not to. But if you need something, because my thing is this: if you are fasting, you're on day 4, you're on day 5, whatever. Maybe you're this is the longest fast you ever did, and you're getting to a point where you're like, bro, I'm gonna break this thing because like I'm so hungry or whatever. Your energy is so low or whatever the reason why. Yeah, have a little broth. It'll bring you back. But me personally, I would probably suggest infused water first. You know what I'm saying? It's like levels to it. Infused water first as the first line of defense. It's going to have an absolute minimal negative effect. It's probably just going to help you, honestly. And then, green juice would probably be my second suggestion if you're going to take something. And then maybe coconut water from a real coconut and then broth. That's how I would kind of order it. But you can still get benefits from doing it. People fast with broth almost exclusively, But we also like to, I'm saying, we want to make sure that you're not getting loose skin and you're just getting the most out of it. So we don't really like all these other extra stuff sometimes. What can you do if you have diabetes regarding juice? Also, if you want to fast and you have to take medicine for arthritis in the morning, what do you do? Steve, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So regarding, I'm just not going to get into it because it's just way too long. We talk about it more in the challenge. But regarding juicing and diabetics, they can still juice. And, the biggest reason that people think that they should not juice or eat fruit at all is because of sugar, right? But we have to understand that sugar in fruit and sugar and everything else is different. To be honest with you, I don't even, I'm getting to the point where I don't even want to call fruit sugar. I'm just going to call it fruit juice or for fruit molecules or something because they're not the same. They're not digested the same by the body. There's this myth out there that, sugar is sugar and the body can't tell the difference. To me, that is like the most ignorant thing I've ever heard, right? We can say, this fat is healthy fat, avocado, coconut, right? Fats from nuts. These are healthy fats. And that's widely acceptable, right? We understand that rapeseed oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, these are bad fats. We understand there's a difference and the body can recognize those. But yet the body is so dumb. It doesn't understand how to distinguish a processed sugar from a fruit sugar, which is its natural and primary source of energy. So that doesn't make sense, right? But in general, you can still fast. If you particularly are sensitive to a specific type of fruit, so for example, I wouldn't necessarily say go drink a bunch of pineapple, right? Because it's really high in fruit sugar, right? You may be sensitive to it because of how you live your life, right? And the damage that is done to your pancreas, right? And of course, the amount of blood or fats or triglycerides in your blood, right? So pineapples may not work for you, but you can juice. I would suggest for any diabetic, number one, apples, right? Fantastic for you, right? Orange juice, which they tell you not to drink, right? Your grapes are extremely citrus and they are cleansing. So these things are very good. And of course, if you still have concerns, just use green juice. So you can still use you can do cucumber juice or cucumber water. You can do your celery, right? You can do the lemon ginger blast recipe that is in the that we're going to be using as the green juice. So there's plenty of other juice options. So yeah, absolutely. As a diabetic, you can juice and you should because your body is needing something, which are minerals, and it needs the break from using the pancreas to create insulin. So it absolutely needs the things that the fruits and vegetables give it. And it's easier to receive those things as a diabetic because you don't have to use insulin to break them down, right? And you don't have to go through that digestive process. As far as medicine goes, I would, number one, of course, look at the medicine. Does it say have with food, right? In general, we don't suggest taking medication during fasting. And there's a lot of reasons for that, right? Fasting in of itself, or you can overcorrect sometimes, right? But a lot of times with arthritis, you have an issue with too much calcium that has been built up, which can cause creakiness, as well as dehydration. So arthritis is one of those things that can be resolved with long-term juice fasting or just juicing over a period of time. So your issues that you have, you've been told for the most part that you're going to have them forever, diabetes and arthritis. And I'm here to tell you that you can reverse both of those. Start adding celery juice into your daily juicing, right? And see if your arthritis doesn't go away. But I would say this, in general, removing your medication for a day or so, or during at least your fasting, it's not going to be harmful. And the reason I say that is because we forget medications all the time, right? People think if I tell you don't take your medication, oh, you can't do that, right? But if you forget to take it, oh, it's okay, you'll be all right. So, I mean, what's the difference if I tell you or if you just forget? So, in general, we do not recommend it, but at the end of the day, that's something that you have to decide on your own. So, next question.
Steve, this is a you too, I think. What's the best way? What?
Okay. Okay. Well, this is something that we talk about in the challenge. I literally have a section that goes over this. But baking soda, right? And I think Shell gave the measurements at some point, but just for time, baking soda, you can also do baking soda, a little bit of white vinegar. Rinse off your fruits and vegetables, put them in a bowl or your sink. Clean your sink first, right? Clean your sink, rinse it out, put your fruits and vegetables in, baking soda, and a little bit of white vinegar. Let them sit and soak. If you want to take it the next step or an extra level, you can get a vegetable or a fruit brush or a potato brush, and just make sure it's not boar bristle, because boar is pig bristles, pig hair. So make sure you get a fruit brush and then clean it, and then that is going to be one of the best ways you can clean it. But at minimum, you better be at least rinsing them things at minimum. And then of course there's other, that's the natural way to do it. But there's if you want to go another route, there's fruit cleaners. They got the little sprays. There's options out there. But yeah, it's super simple.
Good old fashioned vinegar is so amazing, as well as baking soda.
Yeah, I use both.
All right. I read someone say if you're constantly eating a bunch of fruit, you end up with fatty liver disease. Is that true? No, it's not true. It's a lie. I don't know who said that, but it's a lie. People just talk sometimes. They hear stuff. it goes back to what Steve maybe said earlier. They probably heard that if you eat too much sugar, it can cause fatty liver, and they just said, "Oh, well, fruit has a lot of sugars. That means fruit." No, fruit sugar and Snickers bar sugar are two completely different things.
Yeah. Yeah. Using the word sugar is just uh, confusing, which makes
Confused.
sense in this world. Confusion makes sense in this world because it's just so much information out there. That's why we really have to be more in tune with ourselves and ask, like, what makes sense? Sun is not good for you. Are you sure? Fruit juice is not, fruit sugar is not good for you. Are you sure? The creator made it for us to enjoy. And one of the main things that's interesting about us being addicted to sugar and now afraid of it is the fact that we are naturally inclined to want to gravitate to sugar, which is why modifying it and making it in an addictive way, which is the refined sugar, is a major play, because we naturally go to it and our bodies want it and we like it, but obviously it doesn't work for us if it's not in its natural state. If it's in its natural state, it's good for us. If it is not, it is not good for us, but we're afraid of it because it's just like the sugar, 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 but it's not the same. It's not the same. And it's just that again, that goes with the learning and unlearning. It's so much information out there. We have to really think about it. And and asking questions on a platform like this is good because you get to see people that are doing it. You can hear people say, "Oh, don't drink that," because I know this happens. People are in the challenges all the time. And they say, my mom said, "Oh, don't do that. Don't drink that. It's not going to be good for you." But the reality is, mama and auntie, we love you dearly. But have you done this? If you have not, and we have, let's do something different and see how it works. Let's not operate in fear because of what we're hearing. It's a group of people, and it's not just the four of us on this screen. There are people that have joined challenges before that have transitioned to eating and drinking the juices and the fruits more so than anything else. And they're still here. Their skin is clear. They're hydrated. They've lost the weight. They have a clear mind. They're doing it. So we'll hear a lot of information, but let's, really gravitate to the folks that are actually doing it and not operate in fear. But asking questions are great because you just don't know. The information is so much information out there.
Yeah. Okay. Joined late. What herbs need to be ordered? If herbs are sold out, will you tell us what herbs are in the kits so we can order the herbs from other sources? So the challenge is broke up into two different levels. You have level 1 participants and level 2 participants. The herbs are available for level 2 participants. But if you're a level 1 participant, meaning you didn't get the herbs, we have alternatives for you built into the course. Okay, so we're not telling you sources for you to get more herbs because trying to put the herbal blend together would be a little bit much. But we are giving you an alternative so that you can still get have a similar outcome. We're not leaving y'all in the dust or whatever. The herbs, in every challenge we've done up until this point, we really didn't have the herbs. So this is something additional that we're adding, but we've been doing the challenges for over a year and a half now, I guess. And people are extremely successful. So I don't want you to think that you got to have the herbs in order to be successful. But if they're available and you have the resources to get them because they're going to aid. They're going to aid. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about, the wellness journey is already full of obstacles and potholes and things. Our goal is to make this as seamless for you as possible. We want to make it easy, less stressful, right, on yourself and on the body, and get better results, more efficient. And that's what we're doing with the different things we add to the challenges. So hopefully that makes sense. Did you guys have anything?
I've been answering questions in the chat here and there.
Same here.
Okay, cool. Can you take clean slate along with the herbs? Not only can you take clean slate with the herbs, by taking clean slate, you will actually boost the benefits you get from the herbs. One of the benefits of clean slate is that it will enhance any other supplements or even the food you're eating. It'll enhance the nutritional value of anything else that you're doing. So I would actually recommend that you take them together. It'd be an added benefit. I don't like to talk about this because it's not our thing. But clean slate actually enhances the medication. If you're using medication, it'll enhance the effectiveness of medication too. Clean slate is just an absolute beast. I think it's one of them daily supplements that we should just take. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because you're constantly becoming more toxic from the environment, the air, the water, and everything. It's heavy metals and everything. It's heavy metals in the dirt. So I just use it. Now I have adjusted how much I use as time has gone on, but I've been using clean slate for what? Almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in October, I guess. Okay. So for those who have already joined and you guys haven't got your invitation to the private area, I was talking to the technical team for our platform. There was an issue with some of the emails not getting sent because people will give us the wrong emails, and then that email becomes what they call a bounced email. And if we get too many bounced emails on our account, our emails stop going out. And I think that's why some people didn't get their invitation. So I'm gonna be working on getting that cleared up. But make sure that if you didn't get your email, make sure to just reach out. We can send you a link manually so that you can get in. All right.
Yeah.
That's all I've got. Make sure to hit the like button, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Share this. You can still share it. Share it so people can see the replay. We'd love to have your friends and family join. This would be amazing to just, have a group of people that you already know, or you can come in and then, make a new group of friends in the group. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Steve, you put that one up?
It was me. As we close, because I just talked about diabetes, here's a perfect testimonial. For those who have had diabetes, I joined the R72 in January, dropped 30 pounds, now have an A1C of 4.6, cap it off 8 months later, and eat fruit every day. By the way, I took myself off meds during the fast.
Beautiful. What a powerful man.
That was perfect timing. I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's just what we see all the time. You know what I'm saying? We know what we're doing. There's a reason why AHA, this is our 6th year. We going into year 7 now?
Yeah.
I think we're going into AHA. I think we're going into year 7. I think December will be year 7, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, I don't know. I don't be caring about time like that, but we know what we're doing, and we've been doing it big for a long time now. So join us. Go ahead, Jasmine.
No, I was gonna say December 2016 you started. That's what the bookmark said. So it'll be 7 years.
7 years. We know we doing over here. Come join.
Results. Action.
Is this good to lower cholesterol? Yes. It certainly is. You want to regulate?
It's literally good for everything.
Good for everything.
I mean, it doesn't matter what question you ask me. The answer is going to be yes.
Yeah.
This question, I got a link, but I don't have a PayPal email. What do I do? You don't need PayPal to sign up. You could just use your bank card or your credit card or whatever. You don't need a PayPal. All right, that's it. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. We're gonna see you in the challenge tomorrow. The live stream starts at 7 p.m. Central Time, so make sure that you join. If you missed the live stream for whatever reason, there will be a replay available. Also, just so you all know, tomorrow is introduction day. Okay, so you can join all day tomorrow. You're not gonna miss anything. You're not, we don't actually start the prep until Monday. All right. So, and y'all don't got to worry about doing no prep ahead of time. We got you covered. So, and then if you guys have any more questions about, is this good for this? Is this good for that? What oils do I need for this? What supplements? Come join us, and we will be doing. We give you so many opportunities to submit questions, and we answer all the questions. So, come join us. Get that that special touch. Peace.